좋겠다. The impeachment trial put Susan Collins, Senator of State Maine, stung by the Kavanaugh confirmation backlash under the scrutiny. Because she was just an outlier who just actually, with this Lisa Murkowski, really offended by the Kavanaugh nomination procedure to go against the mainstream voice in the Republican Party, right? So impeachment trial put Susan Collins, stung by the Kavanaugh backlash under the scrutiny, whether she would actually commit to the baseline of the party, or she would actually again fail to demonstrate party loyalty. That's a real issue, right? Her party loyalty wouldn't be what's on the line at this moment again, because she was just some outlier, even though Maverick, in that way, not outlier, but she is a really seasoned senior senator. She's more like a Maverick, right? Maverick is really quick, or not really outlier, because she's part of the establishment for so many years. Where else can we see? Not really she would actually face a real scrutiny or prosecution, but her party loyalty or her commitment to the Republican Party base would be challenged or examined, at least what type of choices she would have made. Right? She would have made, as I said. Yeah, 100% I saw it. I already had it on there. Women. With the Brexit looming, experts worry in the UK the women, female, would actually be hit hardest. But women may actually bear the most brunt out of it. So you can. Norma Tanega, who sang A Cat Named Dog, dies at 80. Alventos. I mean, his robot and pull numbers by having the clear dent to stay on top of the pulls. Are they inevitable? And there's no way Bernie can actually make a difference. The problem is, it's really a fracticide. Fracticide between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. One must go. There's no way they would have fight for the same spot. It only actually creates the worst. And the third party, Joe Biden, would be crowned. An airline apologizes for asking a female passenger to take a pregnancy test before a flight. That means that there was a dubious person, because if you actually go to the United States and you actually gave birth, then this kid would actually be a natural born American. Maybe that kind of reason could it be why somebody actually would be suspicious of him. What would it be said? It's really easy. They are adjourned. That means until the end of the weekend. This weekend is really long. Martin Luther King holiday, and after that it resumes. It comes back. That's a Tuesday, right? I mean, at least Tuesday. This would actually be the trial would be postponed. Literally postponed is a really simple word. What a reason for the senator who will judge Donald Trump. This is an incomplete story to consider. The Senate adjourns the trial for the long Martin Luther King holiday weekend. Sure. I already had done that. Wants a short trial. Trump says that he just actually got impeached and wants a very short trial. Da, 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 da. I never miss it. But these are all that I have done. Issues are found the fourth approach for the actual statement. Da, 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 da. New names. Control. This. Am I getting it correct? Oh, yes. You can actually say Moroccan journalist. And I actually use an adjective. It's not really a wrong one. Putting in the art of stepping down gracefully while keeping a firm grip on power. Nina Cacho de Olivares. Moroccan journalist dies. I guess I feel listening. I think. Women concerned anxiety for packing to be worried. Oh, more. Let me actually be more strictly bound by the regional symptoms. Because I don't feel like talking today. I don't want to explain anything today. Oh yeah. Oh no. It's not more. You can actually see the both way. Elizabeth's father. Elizabeth's uncle. Edward VIII, right? Harry and Meghan's abdication is the biggest distance to Edward VIII. Because he actually wanted to get married to Simpson. Yeah, right? Simpson, American divorcee, Simpson. And there was equation. Whoever gets to married to a divorcee on the future with a British royalty is pretty much short lasting. That's a new policy, right? Because he actually, he tell the truth that he actually already gave up. Alright. To actually gain his approval. He already got abdicated. He abdicated from his petition. Abdication, I know. He just actually decided to be dethroned. Or never been part of, not necessarily throned. Harry is not a crown prince. At least you actually decided to give up your own privilege. Disavow your own privilege as a royal family. Disavow and disown your title. Yeah. Disavow would be a great word. The disavow of Harry and Meghan's royal titles as the successes, right? That's what it is about. Oh, what am I asking? Alright then, yeah. It's really easy. I don't really have to think about it. I don't want to actually do the P6. And the wedding anniversary. Kelly Cross excuse the husband slide in Lowe's 10th wedding anniversary of Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. That's really the reason why. I was thinking that by looking into Kushner, it's the same name. Legal defense team. Donald Trump's legal defense team blessed the impeachment trial led by Democrats as a valueless constitution invalid. That means, the whole premises on which, the Democratic leading impeachment procedures would suggest a complete failure, inaptitude. Inaptitude, that means it's really legally, it's impossible. I'm not lying. Let me actually write it down in a prettier way. Trump's legal defense team slams the impeachment trial led by Dems as unconstitutional, legally inept, invalid, baseless. It's very obvious. The charges that we're actually making would actually be inept. They would never be compatible with the constitutional grounds for impeachment. For that reason, the actual case would be meaningless. That's what I was going to say. Oh, yes. Trump's legal team planning aggressive response as if holding no guard, right? It's the impeachment summons. It means he would have pulled no punch. He would have stopped at nothing by going after this procedure with the full front aggressivity. For the impeachment summons, who would be summoned up, who would be collected to make a case by stacking a case against the impeachment argument, trying not to give validity. Well, it's very obvious. It's never gonna appease it too. Oh, so not true. Not in the way opening. Harrowing. Such a troublesome, plagued, and such an hairy video shows in a slew. Such an enormous amount of migrants storming into. That means a huge portion of people are flocking. I can actually paraphrase it. Panic-stricken herring video shows a flow. A flow is a 2-week deluge of migrants flooding into the border region. In Mexico. They even actually pour into it. It's very obvious. I don't really need to think twice about it. It's never been the second one. California teachers sue Delta Airline after jetliner dumps the fuel on high schools. It's very obvious. You can own this Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez painting, feistily dressed as a Che Guevara, for half the price if you actually pay this. And a poster. Yeah. It's really easy. I don't need to think twice about it. Very obvious. This adorable creature, like a pet. This adorable creature animal is the most trafficked and smuggled animal in the world. Very obvious. much tougher and strengthen the rules to be part of the impeachment trial. It's very obvious. Senators will face a tougher rules to be part of the impeachment trial. Teenager accused of slaughtering 4 family members in house during a shooting spree. You can't actually see this, right? It was never been actually part of Robin. It was never been part of that, right? It was not there. Shooting spree, sorry. 4 members of one family. I already had done the. It's never in the second piece. It's so not true. I would never accept it. I'm actually faster than you. I already had done the. Wait, I already had done this? Why is it page a second again? I don't like it. The latest. Huh, it's really cute this video. Listen. Horrendous, yeah, very good word. Horrendous means harrowing. If you ever actually say the harrowing life narrative, somebody who actually went through a lot, harrowing, and not just simply checkered, but plagues with the tragedies and ordeals and adversity. But horrendous is such a miserable, like bleacher and a greasy, creamy, that kind of look. Right? What am I missing? Oh, what am I missing? Oh, no. What? Hundreds together for the women to march in New York despite the horrendous weather. March is really a Masche auf Deutsch. Das ist nicht März. Das ist nicht März. March. March is full march. These are really actually be a marching, normally dressed in a white. Remember during the previous presidential election, Hillary Clinton actually once upon a time dressed in all white in remembrance of the women's march. That's really the color for women. Purple is for gay pride, and the white is for women's march. That's women's, suffrage movement and women's rights, equal rights, and standing movement. This is really an annual gathering to walk starting from a certain point to the other while chanting freedom for women like this, Or else can it be? I never made a mistake. Oh, that's really unfair. One particular. And why you see congestion rush hour tolls a policy must be set in public with openness, as the government says. Oh, I miss it. Must be set in public with openness. Is the open wrong. I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. Because you know what? There wasn't really legislative work for charging higher tolls if you ever drive your car during the rushing hour. That's a congestion hour. Not just actually in rush hour, but there is a certain moment when the city's traffic experiences enormous surge in traffic. That's normally congestion hour, but that would normally, truly overlaps with the rush hour. That would be actually match it with the rush hour. Is it true, right? Combined with the rush hour. Oh, what else can I say more about it? That's really ridiculous. State Democrats stay on the course for the bail reform on the coverage. State Democrats, New York State Democrats, stay on the course. New York State Democrats stay on the course for the bail reform on the coverage to fight for criminal justice reform. Criminal justice bail reform. What else can I say? Okay. What can I do? What can I do? 노래가 나네. 이거 할까? 어떤 걸 하지? I just really wanted to, let's try to actually go a couple more sentences with no skipping. Starting from the next one. Oh, I don't want to actually be bothered by it. Georgia Park being followed by a creep pervert. Cops say that. A New Jersey younger walking down the park with a dog while walking a dog in the New Jersey park, being followed by a creep, whoever that might be, just had a pervert motivation. Oh. Amputated her. That's why prison sentence. A pink one keeps. A crazy man who tries to steal 18 to display phones. I mean, those are really inside the mobile market. I don't actually see anything. Okay. No. Landlord plumber against developer tenant learn their fate over the green gas explosion after gruesome gas accident. Plumber, landlord, gas developer, engineer. Yeah, I said if he mutilated his body. Yeah, mutilated was killed by freezing her amputated head. He got his girlfriend's head amputated. He did it. No. What is this so difficult? Cigarette, tobacco, marijuana. Is that really easy? Can it be? Albany deems latest effort to rein in the tobacco industry. Cops charge a 19-year-old with a fatal stabbing incident for brutal consequence in Bronx. Woman gets brutally damaged while robbery tried to hamper her. Attempt to hamper her. Robbery is attempt to hamper her. It was written. 봐라. Very perfect, right? I should calculate how quickly I can. 1 second for each sentence. So, very nice, exactly. Beautiful. Think about it. Let's start racing through this really quickly. Perfect. No, I just actually did a perfect job, not lying. Because what I did.